Thank you, Ramya. So, prospective car buyers, welcome. I want to start off by asking you guys some questions, and feel free to shout this out. What do you look for when you buy a car? Arvind, what do you look for?
It should be sporty.
Sporty?
Yeah.
That's good. Performance. Eugene?
Price versus comfort in the car.
Okay, so I mentioned two factors, the luxury of the car, and also how much does it cost? Are you getting good value for your money? David, what do you think?
Well, I think durable, long-lasting.
Yeah, reliable. That's very good. That's very important. We don't want to spend money on maintenance, right? Any other factors anyone has into consideration?
Mileage.
Mileage, very important with the price of gas going up. Ramya, you were saying?
I was going to say mileage.
Mileage, yeah. Let me
And
go.
safety.
Safety, yeah. These are all very important concerns, and we all have our own priorities. So personally, when I was looking for something, I wanted something that was high performance, luxurious. But at the same time, we have to realize that there's always going to be better cars out there. You can keep on spending more and more money, but you will always be able to find something better. So the really key question you have to ask yourself is, how do you get the most bang for your buck? How do you get the maximum features that you want while minimizing the price, like Eugene very appropriately pointed out? So I want to share with you my own journey through this experience and what I've learned. Let me start off, of course, with about 4 years ago, back when I was in college. The car that I was driving back then was not coming up. There it is. It's a very beat up car, the hood was actually a different color from the rest. It was like on the verge of falling apart. I bought it on Craigslist for $3,000, so what more can I expect, really? And then eventually, I graduated from college. I got my job at Intel, eventually. And I decided, it's time for me to upgrade. I saw my first paycheck and I decided, I think I deserve something a little luxurious after all the hard work that I put in. So I bought myself. Okay, this is what I bought myself. It's a BMW 325i. I was very happy with it. It was very sporty, high performance, looked very nice. I don't know what to do about this, guys. And best of all, it only cost me. Do we have a different clicker?
Are you pointing to the...
Yeah, can you press it for me? Go back. Back. It only cost me $19,000. Now, before you think that I had some special connection with the dealer or selling drugs or something to make this happen, that's not what happened. You can find very bargain prices, next slide, for almost any car. For example, you can buy a Honda Civic for just $12,000. You can buy yourself a Toyota Camry for $13,000. You can buy yourself a Ford Escape, if you want an SUV, for just $14,000. How do you make all this happen? What is the secret to all this? If there's one takeaway to take from this entire speech, it is this one magical phrase: certified pre-owned. That is the answer to all your problems. Now, how does certified pre-owned help to bring down the prices to all these great numbers? Well, let me show you. It all comes down to the depreciation chart for a car. When you look at the price of the car, what you really want to ask yourself is not how much am I buying the car for, but how much is it costing me every year? Now, there are a lot of costs that go into a car: the fuel cost, insurance, maintenance. But a big value of the cost comes from the depreciation. You take the value of the car at the start of the year compared to the value at the end of the year. The difference between the two is basically what you're losing in the car every single year. Now, for a typical car, this is kind of what the depreciation chart looks like. You can see that in the first year it starts off high. But as I very often say, the second you drive the car off the lot, you're losing 20% of the value. Within 5 seconds of you driving off the lot. Within the first year, the car loses 30% of the value, and that's why you see such a very dramatic drop over there. In the second year, it drops even more, and then eventually you can see that it slopes off. You stop losing that much value every year. So, the certified pre-owned, what you're actually doing is, you're skipping those first 2 years, and you're buying the car at a later point in time, somewhere between 3 and 5. And because of this, you're not facing that huge drop that you see in the first 2 years. You're losing very little money on the car every single year. And this is why certified pre-owned vehicles, you can get some really good vehicles for very cheap prices. Next slide. Now, most people do buy new vehicles. That's just very common. And I'm sure a lot of people have very good reasons for doing so. What are some reasons that you might have for buying a new vehicle? Just shout them out. So, why might you buy a new vehicle?
It's my first car, so I'd like
Yeah.
it to be new.
Yeah? It's the whole aesthetic factor. You want the experience of something being new.
Yeah.
Lipika?
Feels good.
Feels good, yeah. It does feel good. Any other reasons?
Worry-free.
Worry-free. With a used car, you never know if it's in bad quality. There might be problems with it.
You have warranty.
Ali?
Grandpa's money. He's
Oh, you have money. Why not spend the money to go to Vegas instead?
The color I want.
Yeah, you have a choice the color you want. What's
You have the warranty.
features?
Yeah,
Do you want to talk more about that?
yeah. Like for example, newer cars have more Bluetooth and they.
The brand new cutting edge features. That's a good point.
Only way for a new model year.
I'm sorry?
You can only get a new model year if you buy new.
Oh yeah, if they just release a new model, then you have to get the new one. These are all good points. So let's break it down to the 4 main reasons why you might want to consider buying a new car. First thing, like she mentioned, you have guaranteed quality. With a used car, you never know if the previous owner might have damaged it, there might be problems, that's why it's selling it. With a new car, you don't have these concerns. Next bullet. You have the factory warranty that comes with the car. Usually when you buy a car, the manufacturer gives you 2, 3, 4 years of warranty. And after that, you're on your own. So for the first 2 to 4 years, you're in good hands. Financing, it's a big problem for new graduates like myself. You may not have much money in the bank. And so getting financing from the dealer so that you don't have to pay everything up front, it can influence your ability to buy a car. And of course, like so many of you guys mentioned, it's a new car smell, It feels good to buy a new car. These are all very good reasons, and honestly, these are the exact same reasons why I would never buy a used car myself. But honestly, to me, certified pre-owned, I don't categorize it as being used. What is certified pre-owned? A car becomes certified pre-owned when the manufacturer, like in my case BMW, they buy the used vehicle from the first-time owner, they pass it through a 100-point, 200-point inspection, they make sure it's in very good quality, and then they put their brand name behind it. This is why I feel good about the guaranteed quality. Go back. This is why I feel good about the guaranteed quality when I buy a CPO vehicle, because when you look at most companies like BMW, Toyota, Honda, even Intel, for example, one of the most valuable assets these companies have is their brand name. This is why Intel doesn't release a bad chip, because it's not just the chip itself, but it's Intel's brand name that's going to get hurt. Similarly, companies like Toyota and Honda, they're known for their quality. They're not going to risk the brand name by certifying a vehicle that they think is bad. They only do so for good cars. And that's what gave me a lot of peace of mind. The other factors are factory warranty. And the benefit of a CPO is that most companies that issue CPOs, they actually extend the warranty as well. So for example, when I bought my car, you get 4 years of warranty from the date of manufacture. But because of the CPO process, they also extend the warranty by another 2 years. So let's say you're to buy a BMW that's 2 years used. They extend the warranty for 2 more years. You're basically getting the exact same warranty that you would be getting on a new car, even though it's used. Financing. I had no problems at all with financing. I had 1 year credit history. I told the salesman, hey, you know what, I'm a new guy, I have no money at all. And he looked at me and he said, no problem. We'll put you down for $0 down payment. We'll give you 1% financing over the next 5 years. It was as easy as buying a brand new car. And of course, a new car smell, A used car is a used car, but I was personally very happy with the CPO that I bought. Every single person that I showed it to, they all just thought it was a brand new car because BMW took a lot of trouble to finish it up very well, make finishing touches. It looked very nice to me. So I'm sure you guys all have your own priorities, and you do have to weigh your own concerns about how do you get the most bang for your buck. But personally, I was very happy with my experience because, next slide. Next slide. For the price of a brand new Honda Civic, I was instead able to buy myself a BMW 325i. So I was personally very happy. I wanted to get your guys' feedback and you guys' concerns on what you guys think about all this. Is there any concerns or doubts you guys may have?
You in the picture.
That is me in the picture. A lot younger, unfortunately. Arvind?
So for the same price, which you bought the car for, if you could do a little bit of research, you can buy a newer model, which is not certified pre-owned, but if you have a good idea of how the car mechanics and everything works, you can buy it from some third party or owner.
Like Craigslist or something.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good point. If you know what you're doing, if you know what to look for in a car, you can get the same quality but cheaper and by buying it yourself. For me, honestly, I didn't know that much about car inspections. I didn't know what to look for. So I wanted the guaranteed quality, I wanted the extended factory warranty, I wanted the financing and all those things that came with the CPO. So that's what I would recommend. But if you know what you're doing, definitely buy it yourself. Lipika?
So I have a question. So for the electric cars, does the same philosophy work? Meaning because the technology changes so quickly.
So do you mean a Prius or do you mean the fully electric cars?
Fully electric cars.
So those are very new, so I don't know if they have a certified pre-owned program. You should probably go to the manufacturer and look them up. Certified pre-owned is a pretty new concept. I think it's really taken off in the last 5-6 years. So the traditional cars are the ones where this has really become very mainstream. I don't know about the newer technologies. Ramya?
Is the price negotiable with the CPO?
Oh yeah, it's just like buying a new car. You know, you go to the dealership, the salesman talks to you all this, he gives you a very high price, you negotiate with him. You go through the exact same process you would with a new car.
How is the insurance impact on new and used car?
I don't think it makes an impact. The insurance companies, they don't care whether you bought the car used or whether you bought the car, whether it's a 3-year-old car which you bought 3 years ago. For them, they only care about the car itself and how old it is, not when you bought it, you know?
And
Yeah.
Did you find there was a wide variety of options, like in the color and the seat? Were
Right.
you able to have the pick you wanted?
So with the new car, you can customize exactly what they want, and they'll ship it to you. With a certified pre-owned, for BMW, you have a website where they list about 100 different models in the Bay Area. So out of those 100 models, you can find what you want. So I was able to find exactly what I wanted, the options that I wanted. But you do have to look a little bit further, you know, like you have to keep watching the website for a few weeks or so. It's a little bit more work involved. Yeah, you're right on that.
And then the year range, widely.
Right. So usually certified pre-owned, they do it for cars that are 2 to 5 years old when I was buying it. And again, you know, it's all dependent on supply. You can't specify exactly what you want. You use the website and you find something that matches what you're looking for. Do we have time?
12 minutes now.
Oh, okay. So we have 2 more minutes then.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What about the warranty for the new car versus a certified pre-owned? Do you get good
All right.
deals on that?
So I'm not sure about the other companies. Most companies, they do extend the warranty. The BMW, you get full coverage for 4 years. When you buy a certified pre-owned, some of those 4 years are lost. But they also extend it for 2 more years. So basically, if you buy a 2-year-old certified pre-owned, you basically get almost the exact same warranty that you would on buying an exact new car. Is that what you're asking about? Okay.
Does all maker have certified process?
I think it's become very mainstream. So like Ford, Toyota, Honda, BMW, Mercedes. I think every single one that I looked at had a certified pre-owned. Clark?
I'm wondering if you got the same depreciation you got, because to me it's very surprising. You got a great deal, but I doubt most used car can get you that depreciation rate.
So could you go back to that graph?
The
So that's a good point.
30%.
You know, every car is different. So this graph that I showed you, you went too far, I think. So every car is different. Some cars are known to lose their value very quickly, and some companies are known to produce cars where the line is more flat. So basically, the more of a curve you see here, the more money you save by buying it a little bit later. Whereas if this curve is completely flat, then yeah, you don't really get much savings out of it. I guess for a BMW, because it's known as a premium luxury vehicle, most people buy it brand new because they want the premium luxury feel. So you can save a lot of money by waiting 2-3 years and then buying it then. But yeah, depending on which model exactly you want, you should look for it. But those prices that I told you, those are all real prices that I saw on Edmunds.com. So you can buy a Honda Civic for $12,000 as opposed to $18,000, I think, on a brand new. Yeah?
So in the used car, how much mileage you look for minimum or it's safe to buy?
I think generally the average is people drive about 12,000 miles per year. So if you see anything substantially above that, you might want to be a little bit careful. But again, the manufacturer, they're the ones who inspect the car. They are willing to put their brand name at risk by certifying the car. So that's not something that I was worried about at all. Any other questions? Arvind?
So is it a standard price which you get for a similar type of a car, or it still varies from showroom to showroom, or how does it matter?
You mean across dealers to the same manufacturer?
Exactly.
Yeah, it does vary quite a bit. So I actually bought my car down in Monterey, which is like a 2-hour drive.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually looked it up on the website. I saw that Monterey was doing much better deals, like $500, $1,000 cheaper than Santa Clara.
Mm-hmm.
So I finalized everything, and then I literally drove down there one day, signed the documents, drove back in my car.
Me too.
Okay, thanks for all the questions, guys, and I hope you all learned something.
Thanks so much, Ravi.